As we block out the player's path up to the town hall building, we're going to use this POV camera that we added earlier to keep an eye on the image composition from the mill building's exit up to the top of the hill where the town hall is located. So with this camera actor selected, we're going to use some simple shaped cylinder mesh here to indicate where the hill is, the scale of the hill, the distance to the hill, and the overall diameter of the hill, because we want this to be kind of a curved shape, because we already established in the design document that we want an access road going up the hill to the town hall with a lot of the workers' houses positioned along that curved road. So this will give us an initial idea of how these distances should be set up. So I'm just going to keep duplicating the group meshes that we had for our workers' houses just to sort of establish their relationship to each other and their position. Again, this is also where we see how these houses look on the approach going up the hill to the town hall building. And also, not only do they look from traveling up the path, but how they look from the vantage point of the exit. So here I'm just sort of fleshing out the walkable space a little bit more, just kind of messing around with the geo here. And I'm going to duplicate this house as well. I'm going to start to sort of curve their placement a little bit so the facades sort of follow the curved shape of the road. You can see they're kind of echoing the curved shape of the cylinder that I put in there. I might like how they look right now from the camera actor, but then I might find they have to be tweaked a little bit once I'm actually within close proximity on foot, so to speak, as I move the player character up through that area. So here, just again, creating some curved surfaces. I find if you have to place buildings or anything like this along a slope, you often frequently have to sort of block out almost a series of flat areas. So you can see how I'm sort of going from like a slope to a flat area where I'm at the sort of height of the base of each house. I find that's the best way to do it. It can be a lot. It's possible to build the house actually embedded in a sloped angle. And I know that exists in real life, but I find in a blocked out phase to keep the geometry clean, just for playability, it makes it much easier if you just kind of do this, where you, like I said, you flatten out each surface in front of the house. So that's looking not too bad from the camera actor. I'm just sort of doing some alignment work here to place them along the edge. So yeah, even though I had the houses going up at a steeper angle, it doesn't really work so well to actually work with the incline of the building there. So here, I'm just sort of embellishing the rough geo here with a little bit of organic geometry. I'm using that rock mesh again to sort of show that this is a naturally occurring landscape in the environment here. So I'm just sort of indicating that with the rock meshes again. Still just having them follow the round outline of the cylinder that I placed earlier. There was this house that was indicated in the design document. Right here, I'm creating a gap between that house and the rock for the stair path that returns down the hill from the town hall back down to the mill, as we outlined in the level design document earlier. And for the town hall building on the top of the hill, I'm just starting off with a cube mesh, primitive cube mesh, to just kind of establish the overall scale and space that it will take up. And at this stage, I'm going to add a little bit of detail to the facade and the silhouette of the building, just so I can check to see that it makes a nice prominent silhouette shape visible down from the mill exit below. Put a spire on this. I'll add a quad pyramid primitive to the top of this to make it give it a little height, give it a little prominent spire on the top to draw attention to it from a distance. I think we could probably do a little more with the houses so that each one's a little more visible from the exit, like they're a little bit too obscured. Again, I'm trying to balance their relationship to the road, which is a space the player immediately interfaces with as they move up the path, but I also want it to look good from that camera. So for the immediate approach to the town hall, I'm going to have the player enter the ground around the town hall building, not from the top of the curved road, but actually a little side path leading up to it, so I can plan my image composition to reveal the building. I kind of have to. I don't want it to be visible in profile from the mill building exit, but I do want it to be visible from kind of a 3/4-ish view when the player sees it from the mill building exit, or when they see it from this new path that I'm building here, which is a small staircase I'm going to add. If I had the player enter the area around the town hall from the very top of the curved road, they'd enter it from kind of a weird vantage point, sort of either from the side or from behind it. It looks weird and it's not very descriptive of the building, visually speaking. So here I'm just sort of making a series of terraces again. I could go with a ramp like this so that it looks maybe like a naturalistic path. But I think it's probably a lot easier if I just make this more of an architected space. If I had it made so that it was built with actual constructed wooden or cement poured stairs. And it makes it a little easier for me to build and plan. And it makes it more clear to the player where they're supposed to go, if I use stairs versus like a dirt path. Also, it tells a better story. Like if this really was to be used by the residents of the town, then, it would have been more user friendly. That's the best way I can put it. And so that means they probably would have built like an actual structured set of stairs like this instead of a weird dirt path that led up to it. It makes it a little easier to justify how the sloped road can be connected to like another height that's at odds with the slope of the road. And here I'm just adding some more like natural geometry to make it look like this was kind of nestled in to the natural landscape. And here I'm just sort of, again, reconfiguring the houses now that they have a new thing to be in relation to. It's kind of a back and forth. Like as I build areas around the town hall, around the road, I have to go back in, sort of reconnect the houses to each other and how they relate to the road that curves in front of them. Here I'm just sort of giving more of a flat area around each house. And then I'm going to play a little bit here with using more natural geometry, organic geometry, much as I did with the rocks around the retaining wall at the entrance to the mill. I'm just sort of indicating that perhaps these houses were kind of built in the foothills of the edges of the valley, I guess I'm trying to say. That this is located, I want to make it feel kind of nestled into a valley here. So this is me just kind of bookmarking where the edges of the mountain range might end. They might end right here where a road was carved out. And also maybe the grounds were flattened out here to build the houses on. And I'll just go around a little bit here and I'll kind of establish, this is me using the rock meshes again, not only as an environmental justification for how this town was built into the mountains, but also kind of trying to indicate more where the bounds of the playable space are. Like I'll have to decide here and maybe later too, if I want players to be able to get behind the houses. Maybe they can't enter each house, or maybe if they can't enter a house, they can't go out the back of the house, or they can't walk around the house, that kind of thing. Also, as I build some of these natural formations as boundaries, I'm going to keep an eye on the camera actor, where the town hall is. And I'm going to, that's actually a composition I kind of like there now that I've turned this house a little bit. I kind of like that image composition. If the player has a choice to go up to that house and explore it or go to the town hall, I've now kind of turned the house a little bit and presented it towards them in a more kind of inviting manner, or even just a more compositionally pleasing manner, frankly. We've now kind of nestled the stairs in there. We've nestled the house in nearby. Here I'm going to duplicate the camera actor and pilot it up the hill to frame my image composition for the reveal here of the town hall building. It's important at this point in the player progression that we consider the reveal of this building, because this is a moment when we switch to a new gameplay beat and the player encounters the town hall building. They encounter the bandits in a combat beat either in the town hall or around the town hall. So we want to reveal that change in that important moment at this point in time. So another useful thing we can do here is we can select two camera actors. And then if I want to go and I want to mess around with the positioning or the geometry detail or anything with the town hall building, I can view it from multiple angles to make sure it achieves its goal no matter where it's viewed from. At this stage, if you have a lot of POV cameras in your map, you can go to the world outliner and give them different names, so it's easy to toggle between them as you keep building. So here, if I tweak the rough geometry of the town hall building, and I know that it looks good from close range and from afar, like it looks good in both ways. That's what's most useful about that. And it does it. It's not a bad silhouette. I like it a little better from the mill exit, but I think it works just fine. The idea I'm toying with here is I'm going to add some windows to the outside of the town hall. To backgate the player when they enter the town hall building, I might find a way of making an obstacle that they jump over and through one of the windows so that they can't exit out the same way they came in. Here I'm just sort of indicating where those entrances could be. They could be at some front-facing windows, but I'll work on that later when I do the interior. So here I am. I'm going to test what it looks like As I go up the road, I want to see a nice rhythm of reveal. I get a nice review of house after house, which is pretty cool. As I reach the staircase here, I get a nice rhythm of reveal as I move forward, rounding the corner, and then a nice image composition of the town hall building. So I feel like that's working pretty well. I think we established all the right situations we want right here, right now.